Alright, so in one of my previous videos, I mentioned a full run of Hylics is possible with just Wayne. And I decided it's an interesting enough challenge to make into a video. It's exactly what it sounds like, just beat the whole game with only Wayne. And no, this isn't like the off challenge where we can still pick them up, but use them. We're not picking up any of them. We can still go near them, which, spoiler alert, we'll be doing for all three of them. But notably, we can't use paper cups without Death's Mold. This means we can't increase our max will, and it's stuck at 100. On that, you just need to beat the game. Unfortunately, there's not very much leniency in what you can do in the run, but this also means the guide is much more rigid. A lot of the start is the same. Just get the stuff in Wayne's house, get all the veggies, and get the random $47 in the trash can. This one's pretty important. After that, go to the city, get the meat and dynamite, and purchase the bleak cellophane. This gives Wayne immunity to blindness, which is crucial for the first part of the game. Unfortunately, we still can't live through the first few encounters, meaning we're gonna die a bit. Before that, though, I recommend activating Deadesmold's Crystal to help Death Warp, as dying 3 times allows us to pick up one of the best weapons in the game, boosting our damage to 45. After this, I recommend going to Samsnosa's house and picking up as much money as possible along the way, as we need 2,000 bucks to get the roach food. Yes, I know it says 1,000, but it's bugged to cost 2,000. Activate the crystal in the basement, get the muscle pleak, and death warp from the ambulance skull. Go back to Wayne's house and get the roach items from the roaches in the bathroom. These triple your current max HP when acquired, which is monumental. With this, we can finally kill our first enemy, the Flesh Dash. The NPC that warns you of it mentions attack, rest, and guard. You want to repeat these in a cycle, and you'll eventually kill him. You can use Ablative Hollow Pleather to substitute guarding if you need health, but you won't need it too much. Eventually, he'll fall, and after that, we can quickly get Space Shurikens and kill all the other nerds here. Christ, that took a while, but we finally killed our first enemies. And by our first enemies, I mean we committed genocide against people with cones on their head, and Deadesmold witnessed it all. Once we're done, we can death work back with a skull to get back to the afterlife and grind an absurd amount of meat. Once done, we can fight our first boss, Horrid Projection. Make sure to have Mystic Meat on with nearly 100% uptime and focus the guard first. After that, use Bubbles on Projection to help damage him and use Pleather to heal up. He should go down within a few minutes and we finish Act 1. Once Act 2 starts, you want to beeline straight to Pongorma's house. Pick up Dark Flame and buy squirrel food from the NPC. The head squirrel item gives a ton of extra health and provides immunity to all negative status effects, meaning you have a permanent Mystic meetup with no will cost. After that, head to the End Island, the one with the letters that spell at the end, and press the button until this nerd gives you 2 muscle obliques. Next is the Graveyard. Do not fight any ghosts here. The fights last way too long, and they don't drop a morsel of meat. The Dread Meats, on the other hand, they can drop up to 6 meat in one encounter, along with a few muscle obliques. In the Tomb, you can just ignore the encounters for now, as they once again take too long. Also, make sure to skip Tomb Shrub. If you don't know how, wait until he goes to the rightmost area in his walk cycle, go 1 tile in front of him, and go down. Try and wait for the other enemy to go away. For some reason, he'll just break by you standing there and just stop you moving. You'll still encounter him if you run into him, but he isn't blocking the way at all. After that, the Hall of Deadly Statues is the same, as there's no encounters in that area. And with that, Act 2 is completed. And we can use the airship now. You can't get the horse food as the stupid bug is blocking the way and we don't have Samsnosa to turn his ass into a pile of steroids. It doesn't matter too much as Berry Shield is much better than the Haunts. Next is Clawman, which is quite tough. He has 1400 health, making poison a necessity, and he always moves first, meaning Ablative Hollow Pleather is useless. This means your main healing method is going to have to be vegetables. He shouldn't live for too long, and you should make absolute bank afterwards. I recommend getting the spaceship keys and going straight to Gibby's Tower as soon as possible. And with that, we start the Gibby era of this run. Gibby is by far the hardest part of the entire game with only Wayne. The reason I recommend going in early is because the Simmery Axe is the best weapon in the game, and all the enemies drop a shitload of meat. After immediately getting destroyed by Gibby's absurd power, go back to the town and purchase a turbo tendons. This is needed as you need the parasite crystal to get more will in the Gibby fight. You can also stack both axes to shred through common enemies. Speaking of which, you'll need to kill every enemy that actually drops meat, as you want as much health as possible due to missing out on the deflector. This will take a while, and it's pretty boring, but the fight with Gibby itself is pretty fun. Use Legend of Melting to kill the statues, use Ablative Holoplater to heal, and use Bubbles on Gibby once the statues are dead. Let's also run through Gibby's attacks just because. He has 2 moves he can do in 1 turn. Most attacks take up 1 turn, but standard attacks happen twice, only taking up half a turn. This means he can attack 4 times in 1 turn total. The best moves he can pull are attacking with great speed and dancing gremlins. The quote-unquote great speed attack is actually a fat pile of bullshit because it comes out at the same time as any other attack from him and takes up 1 move instead of 1/2 from the standard attack. Next is dancing gremlins. This is meant to be an AoE attack, but we only have Wayne here, meaning there's no AO to E, if you get my drift. Next is the standard attack. All 3 attacks I've mentioned up to this point deal 60 damage, but the standard attack happens twice, meaning it's a total of 120 damage. You can dodge the attack if you're lucky, however. Next is Cosmic Procession. This is debatably number 1, but I decided to leave that spot for something else. Cosmic Procession reduces your current HP by half. This is calculated before the defend damage resistance, meaning it only does 1/8 of your current damage when guarding with Pleather. And lastly, the worst attack you can pull is Flesh Leech. It does 150 damage, which is the most of any of his attacks can do, not including Cosmic Procession, and it also heals him for how much damage he deals. You can still defend the attack, reducing the HP he heals, but it's still a setback. Make sure to use AB Pleather as much as possible, have Bubbles on him at all times, and have your main damage method be Legend of Melting. Once the poison does less than 250 damage, that's how you know he's 1 hit and you can destroy this nerd. And that's the game. It's a pretty fun challenge if you're looking for some more fun in this game, and it's not too hard either. The main flaw with it as the start is very slow. You need to wait for a while until you can start finding enemies, which just shows how rough the game is at the start. But once you get past that, it's pretty fun. I'd recommend it. Hey, I apologize for the long hiatus I took. I've mostly just been busy with other stuff, but I think I'll announce the main reason why I've been so late. I'm working on a very large project for this channel, and I'm sure you guys are gonna love it. So yeah, I apologize for the break, and yeah, I hope you'll like this project. And I'm currently still working on the script right now, so it's probably not gonna be out for very long, but you guys will very likely like it.